Welcome. My name is Kathy Beveridge. On behalf of the League of Women Voters of Bucks County, I would like to welcome you to this interview with Karen Smith, candidate for Region 1 School Director for the Central Bucks School District. The League is a nonprofit, nonpartisan volunteer organization dedicated to empowering voters and defending democracy. We want all voters to cast an informed vote in every election, and these interviews, as well as our online voters guide, vote411.org, give voters a chance to learn where candidates stand on the issues. We have invited all candidates running for school director in Central Bucks School District to participate in these interviews as a service to the voters of Bucks County. These interviews are unedited, and candidates were provided with the questions in advance. All candidates are being asked the same 6 questions and will be given 90 seconds each to reply. Welcome, Karen.
Hi, good evening, Kathy. Thanks for this opportunity.
Thank you. The first question is, why do you want to be a school board director, and what are your qualifications?
Well, I have worked for and with public schools for 20 years, and I'm actually serving my 2nd term on the school board now. My professional background is in school public relations. School districts are subject to many laws and regulations, which complicate our work. So my experience allows me to immediately make decisions for the school district with no learning curve necessary. My background does make me uniquely qualified for the office, but I'm also a parent and a parent of a child with special needs. My 3 children all graduated from Central Bucks, went all the way through from kindergarten to graduation. My youngest son attended MBIT, and I served on the MBIT board, so I'm also very familiar with our tech school. But basically, I'm running again because I love our public schools. I have spent my life working for public schools. I want to have another opportunity to work on creating the best education for our children instead of battling in political games like we have been doing lately, unfortunately. I'm running again because our students deserve better. Our students need school board members who value and respect them, who want to help them learn, help them feel competent and capable, and feel safe and welcome. The students have stood in front of me and asked for it, and I don't want to let them down.
What are the 3 most pressing issues for the Central Bucks School District?
Well, here in Central Bucks, we have been in the news all too often recently, and for the wrong reasons. The current board majority has enacted several poor policies, and they have wasted about $1 million defending this untenable position. Banning books and supportive symbols is wrong and does nothing to address the real issues that our district is facing. And this is the overarching problem I feel we're having right now. But next, like many districts, we're also facing teacher and staff shortages. I do think the chaos in the district over the last couple of years has impacted our ability to attract and retain staff. And stability at the board level, I think, will help the situation, as well as a review of the salary rates. I also remain very concerned about the mental health of our students. We have more students dealing with anxiety and depression than ever before. And referring students out to community resources is not helping our students quickly enough. We really need to add therapeutic counselors and more social workers to be able to help kids in school. And finally, we do still have some students who are demonstrating some learning loss after the pandemic. And our administration has some ideas on how to work with that, but I would encourage them to look for some more answers to that problem as well.
What is the role of schools in teaching children about racism, sex education, and gender equity?
Well, that's a heavy question, and those aren't really all related, but let me give it a stab. I do think it's critical that our schools teach history accurately, and that does include discussions on racism. I do believe students need to learn about discrimination and inequality as truths that we can learn from so that history does not repeat itself. Sex education is actually not even required in Pennsylvania, aside from curriculum on HIV. But I do think as a public school that we have a responsibility to provide it. It is important that students have knowledge about their own bodies, and not every family is comfortable or capable of providing accurate information on that topic. But of course, I support an opt-out model for families who want to cover that topic at home. Gender equity. Gender equity means respecting all people without discrimination, regardless of their gender. So gender equity is more about modeling how to treat people more than a specific lesson in curriculum. But I do believe schools have a role in teaching students about respect for each other and respect for people who are different than you. And it's such a small world now. Our kids are going to become adults who interact with people from all over the globe, and a foundation of respect will help them in the long run.
Okay, you've touched on this a little bit already, but what effect do you believe school board policies have on teacher morale and teacher shortages? And what, if anything, would you do as a school board director to improve teacher morale and teacher retention?
I do think the chaos in the district over the past couple of years has impacted our ability to attract and retain staff. Even small policy changes can mean big changes on a teacher or other employee's daily work. So when policies are up in the air for months at a time, that leads to tension for our staff. And vague policies like Policy 321, which restricts teachers from talking about or displaying decor, that advocates for a partisan, political, or social policy issue, that led to quite a bit of uncertainty after it was passed. I've heard directly from our staff that Policy 321 was very upsetting, and the use of the word indoctrinate in that policy was offensive to them. I see our teachers as professionals, and they work very hard to maintain balanced discussions in the classroom. I think if an issue does arise, that's a chance for a teacher to learn how to improve and not a reason to close down classroom discussions. But recently I've learned that I was endorsed by PSEA, and I'm very grateful for their support. And I was grateful to hear that. And when I'm reelected, I would plan to work with our teachers and other staff to learn how we can improve morale and retention.
Do you advocate any changes to the curriculum at any level? If so, what changes would you advocate?
Oh, sorry, there we go. So overall, I feel like it's the job of our administration to lead changes to the curriculum. And the school board is really a policy-making body. But that being said, I will share a couple of ideas that are close to my heart. Those who know me know I'm a lover of the theater. My daughter majors in drama. I would love to incorporate more drama into the curriculum. I think drama helps students learn about other people, other cultures, other time periods. It encourages empathy, and it assists with public speaking and confidence. Another really cool learning experience I can remember was from a former teacher named Mr. Lamar, who was a band teacher at Tohickon, and unfortunately we lost him a few years ago. But one year he and his students worked on something called the Blue Man Group, where they used PVC pipes like an instrument, and they studied physics and sound waves, and it was like the coolest, such a fun, neat project. And the students brought together music and other subjects. So anything along that lines, I would love to see more of that. And I love the experience the kids are having who take the class over at our biotech center. More of anything along those lines. I would definitely be supportive of that.
Okay. What 3 things do you want to accomplish if you are reelected to the school board?
Well, I remain very concerned about mental health issues for our students. As I mentioned, we have more students dealing with anxiety and depression than ever before. Referring kids out to community resources is not helping our students quickly enough. We need to add counselors and social workers to be able to help kids in school. And having the support available in school means we're able to reach all students who need it and when they need it. I remember my own son having some issues in school and no one was available to help him when he needed it. We also have some students demonstrating learning loss after the pandemic. And I would like to encourage our administration to continue to work on that as well. I would want to revise the library book policy and policy 321. The policies are discriminatory. They were devised to solve problems that don't exist. They've created extensive negative attention for the district, and they've damaged relationships with our stakeholders, particularly our staff. But overall, my main goal would be to return to a focus on education, doing good things for kids, and let's just make school board meetings boring again.
Okay. This concludes our interview with Karen Smith, who is running for Region 1 School Director of the Central Bucks School District. Thank you, Karen.
All right. Thank you so much, Kathy.
Voters who are unsure of their school district region can go to www.vote411.org to see only the candidates who will be on their ballot for all of the races in the municipal primary. The election will be on Tuesday, May 16th.